When we hear the word storytelling, we typically think of the traditional oral form of storytelling, which is great for the auditory learner. But according to a study done in 2019, most people identify as visual at 60.9% or hands-on at 39.5% over auditory. So in the digital age, storytelling can be told through images, videos. It can even have interactive elements so that learners can really get the full-on experience of storytelling. A great way to marry the visual, interactive, and auditory elements of a story is through games. And when we were going through our week 6 study, we played the game Never Alone, which paired the original oral story in the native language with subtitles, with the interactive gameplay and the beautiful images of the game. Not everyone is a connoisseur of games. I myself don't play very often, but I found myself intrigued by the storyline of this game and had to continue playing well past the due date to find out what happened to our main character and her sidekick. If I had heard this story in its original form or translated through reading or through auditory, I don't know if I would be as invested. I don't know if I would be looking for more or finding out the end. So the way that digital storytelling opens up in this digital world is that we can be more immersed in certain stories because of how interactive or how visual things can be. It becomes more important and we become more involved. A new aspect of storytelling in the digital age is the increased availability of stories. This is a uniquely Alaska Native story told in its native tongue. But because of our digital age, this story can be spread across the world and give recognition to this culture that otherwise may not have been known about. It makes the world smaller in a good way. It reminds me of that article that we read a while ago where it compared the native birth of the earth story and the book of Genesis, and how it's a similar purpose in the story, but all of the details are very different and very unique to that culture. There's always been speculation if this new digital age has shortened our attention spans, and there hasn't been a lot of evidence to back that up. But according to the University of Denmark, a new study found that our collective attention span is indeed narrowing, and this effect occurs not only social media, but also diverse domains including books, web searches, movie popularity, and more. Even trends on the internet and memes don't last more than for weeks now. These images and facts that I'm about to read all came from an infographic called The Shortening of the Human Attention Span, and it talks about how back in 2000, the average attention span was 12 seconds. And now, 2015, and I'm sure it's even shortened since then in 2020, it was 8.25 seconds, which means we have a shorter attention span than a goldfish at 9 seconds. The average length of an internet video watch is 2.7 minutes. When reading an article, the average user will read at most 28% of the words, a likely expectation being 20% of the words. The average page visit lasts less than a minute, and often users leave the page within 10 to 20 seconds. The average office worker will check their inbox 30 times every hour, which is every 2 minutes, and they will pick up their phone more than 1,500 times per week, amounting to 3 hours and 16 minutes a day. Which is the reason why a lot of our storytelling in the digital age is bite-sized information, usually included with a picture on social media sites like Twitter, Instagram, or Tumblr. These two images I've put side by side, one is familiar to you. It was the thread that we read for our social media storytelling about the love story in the First World War. It was posted in a thread, this story, which means that it was bite-sized information. A tweet can't go over so many characters, so you read only just a little bit, and it was often tagged with a picture. It also wasn't told over a day, so this entire story was told over 2 days in less than a few characters each tweet. So you got to read and pay attention to a few words at a time. Personally, when I see a lot of words on a page, I automatically have the urge to skim, going back to that infographic where it said that there's an expectation to read 20% of the words. When there are very few words and they're broken up in pieces like this, it feels manageable, especially with pictures. You feel more invested, you feel more like you can accomplish reading this and understand what it is talking about. This is an image of a cover of a book called Seriously Hamlet, which is the text version of William Shakespeare's Hamlet. As you can see, it is told through emojis where it says to be or not to be, and it is told in little bite-sized text messages filled with images such as emojis or added pictures like in the Twitter thread that we talked about. It's an updated way of telling an older story. It's also an easier way because back in the day they used Old English or phrases that aren't relevant now, and emojis and other types of text acronyms are relevant or are understandable now, which makes the storytelling more relatable and more enjoyable because you're laughing. Social media is the driving force of digital storytelling, and it has made storytelling even more present in our lives. YouTube through videos, Facebook where you can share photos and posts with friends and family in long or short form. Twitter is short form for some GIFs or images or text posts. Instagram is mostly pictures. It is integral to our society to tell stories. I read a Business Insider article about the most downloaded app called TikTok, and it is a rebranded form of the 15-second lip-syncing Musical.ly app, and it was an alternative when the app Vine, what is no longer in business, which was a 6-second video-making platform. You can find short-form sketch, makeup hacks, dance videos, singing videos, all on this one app, and it is all in short form. It's the attention span that most of us have, which is what makes it appealing. We all like these short, creative pieces of content. I think that's the perks of digital storytelling, is that it is accommodating to our different audio, visual. It's also accommodating to the way that the world is working. We have shorter attention spans. We want something to grab us. We like these creative and short form types of content, which is really cool that it grows with us. Though this is longer than the 2.7 minute video that we are used to, thank you for watching to the end of the video. If you feel like you have a shorter attention span than a goldfish, like we talked about in one of the slides, please tweet me at Morjo333, MORJO333, and answer yes or no to the tweet I just put out. And if you do, I will reply with a funny GIF. Thank you for watching.